It's fall, y'all. The easiest season to look chic is also the easiest season to look frumpy. The difference? Tiny little details most of us aren't even aware of until now. Today, I am sharing 7 common outfit mistakes that instantly age and frumpify our look. These are fast, simple fixes to keep us looking polished and amazing all season long. Okay, let's jump right in. The very first mistake is one that we are all guilty of in the fall: bulky sweaters. I am talking those big, comfy sweaters that feel so cozy, but when the sweater is too oversized and shapeless, it can swallow us up and make our frame disappear. Poof! Especially if, like me, you are petite, meaning 5'4" or under, regardless of weight. These kinds of sweaters add bulk in all the wrong areas and make our legs look shorter. No bueno. Instead, try any of my 3 favorite options. First, a front mini tuck into a tailored jean or pant. This gives your body definition, making it clear that you've got a waist, and it visually lengthens your leg. If you have sweaters that fall into the too oversized category, but you can't bear to part with them just yet, this is a great trick. It allows you to still wear and get use out of them while still looking amazing, per the usual. Number 2, add a heeled boot for a little more visual length. This is great for everybody, especially for us petites. Ladies, the boot does not have to be sky high. Choose the heel height and style that works best for you. The idea is just giving yourself a little extra height. This can make a really big difference because now we're not a walking sweater. Number 3, add a skinny belt. This only works if the sweater isn't so huge and oversized that it looks weird and there's too much material with the skinny belt. You want to leave a little room with the belt, so don't cinch it too tight because it's going to look weird. We're going for just a smidge of waist definition, enough to give you some shape. Mistake number 2, the wrong boot pairings. Boots done right or wrong can completely make or break any fall outfit. When worn with a skirt or a dress, an ankle boot that lands above the ankle, especially if it's in a heavy or bright color, can be really frumpy and completely unflattering. Look how unflattering this boot height is on me, ladies. It cuts off my leg at a highly unflattering place, and notice how the black looks especially horrid. Ugh. Now, you might be saying, yeah, but I see it all over Pinterest and I see it on all the models and it looks really cool. Yes, it does. And this is where I say, know thyself. That particular look can be really cool and edgy looking if you're tall and, dare I say, slim. That's why it looks so cool on the model. But ladies, look how the same thing looks on me. When I try and copy this look, it doesn't look good. It cuts off the visual line of my legs, making them look shorter and heavier, giving me a dowdy, unflattering look. No, thank you. Translation: looks great on her, not on me. Pivot! Instead, if you love the idea of an ankle boot with a skirt or a dress, which I do too, I think it's a cool, edgy look, especially for evening, look for one instead with a low profile, meaning it dips below the ankle, preferably with a dip versus a straight across. Notice my black ankle boots here are low profile. They dip slightly down in front versus cutting straight across. The dip gives a visually longer look in the same way that a V-neck sweater gives us that visual length. For the color, now black is fine here only because it has a low profile and it dips, so you could certainly get away with it. But ideally, I'd choose an ankle boot like this in a flesh color, one that melds seamlessly with my leg. That's going to give me a longer, more visually appealing, flattering look. Side note, ladies, you may be saying, yeah, but I need a tight where I live. Got it, we'll address that in a second. In San Diego or warmer climates, many times women can get away with going bare-legged all year long, which we can here in San Diego, and we do. I rarely, if ever, have seen a woman out at night wearing a tight. It just doesn't get that cold. If your weather does dictate you wearing tights, first of all, lucky you, I would love that. Look to match the color of your tight to the color of your boot. This is going to give you, again, that nice, long, seamless line. Notice my nice, long line with a black tight and a black ankle boot. When compared side by side, you can naturally see which one is a little more flattering. With jeans or trousers, a pointed or almond toe ankle boot works great. Chic, polished perfection. Knee-high boots too, a classic fall favorite. Love, love, love. But even a knee boot can look frumpy if the details are off. For example, a squatty, chunky, round toe can make the leg look heavier instead of sleek. And of course, worn, faded, scuffed boots cheapen our look unnecessarily. Instead, pick something clean, streamlined, void of bells, whistles, and embellishments. Ladies, unless it's done very, very, very well, which usually means a very expensive boot because of the level of expert craftsmanship involved in making something embellished look high-end and chic, lots of embellishments on a boot can look very cheap. And let's be honest, it's not as versatile. Next, you're going to want to opt for a pointed or almond toe to lengthen, a shaft that skims the calf without sagging. And finally, of course, choose a boot that feels luxe and luxurious, whether it's a soft leather, a suede, or even subtle croc embossing. The type of heel matters too, ladies. Now, it could just be personal preference on my end, but hate's a strong word, but I really dislike those ankle boots with that chunky, thick wood heel. Ugh. To me, they just always look like dowdy and kind of frumpy and unpolished. But again, that could really just be a personal preference. I always go for a sleek, simple heel or a streamlined silhouette with a waffle tread rubber sole to wear with a legging. For the ultimate length, avoid a skin showing gap between the top of the boot and bottom of your dress or skirt. Unless you have nice long legs, this can cut off the visual line. Look at the difference here between a boot with no tights and a boot with my black tight. Notice how the one where I'm wearing tights does look longer and more seamless. The other one, it's fine, but especially being 5'2", it's probably not as flattering as the one with the tight. Why? Because my leg isn't long enough to give a lot of nice skin the way you see on some of the models. Number 3 mistake, ignoring the balance between our tops and our bottoms. This one, ladies, is huge and one of the most common mistakes that I see. When our tops and our bottoms don't play well together, it throws the whole outfit off and can really push us into Frumpville, which is where we're trying not to live. And side note, it doesn't matter how expensive the outfit or what you paid. It's the silhouette and the proportions that we are looking at. Look how frumpy I look here, ladies. Oversized sweater, trouser jeans, loafers. Yuck. Instead, we want to think contrast. If your jeans are wide or relaxed, you're going to want to balance them with a slimmer top. Think a simple fitted crew neck sweater or a tucked in blouse. If you want to wear a cozy sweater like the one I'm wearing here, of course you can. It's fall. But try either a semi-cropped version that comes about to the hip bone, then give it a mini tuck like I'm doing here. Now, notice how balanced we are. Can you wear an oversized sweater with a wide leg trouser? Okay. You can, and let me show you how I did it right here. I've got a wide leg trouser and an oversized sweater plus loafers. Not a good look. Now, I do a mini tuck for the sweater, I add a 3/4 inch belt to define my waist, and next I add an ankle boot with a little bit of a heel to give me just a little more length. And now it works. Also, ladies, one of my favorite tricks when I'm wearing like a big chunky sweater is to pull my hair back. Notice how my hair, although it looks super cute here, is a little too much with this chunky knit. It's just too overwhelming, especially on my frame. You've got the hair, you've got the chunky knit, it looks a little messy. By simply pulling my hair back, I've now created a sleek, cleaner look. Much better. For the reverse, a chunky knit on top and a slim streamlined pant on the bottom. Balance creates shape, and shape always reads chic. You can see how this works perfectly with my straight leg jean and a chunky sweater. Super cute and far away from the frump zone. Ladies, I want to be crystal clear on one thing. Saying frumpy does not refer to the person. Saying frumpy refers to your clothes or your outfit. Translation, it is not personal. Now, I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm going to, because inevitably, the times when I have done a video on how to steer clear of frumpy clothes, you'll get a few overly sensitive souls who are, shall we say, very angry in feeling that they are being called frumpy. I would never tell another woman that she is frumpy, ever. We're talking about the clothes, not the person. You will see several outfits that I am wearing that are very frumpy, and then I'm gonna show you how to change them up. That's it. Mistake number 4, sloppy scarves. Now, scarves, as y'all probably know, are my favorite accessory year-round, just in different fabrics to suit the weather. It is hands down the easiest, fastest way to elevate even the most boring outfit like that. That being said, scarves can easily dip us into Frumpville in a few ways. Number one, the overly thick knits. They look so cozy, but in reality, those giant, long, thick cable knit scarves end up looking like a ring of stacked donuts around the neck, completely overwhelming our pretty face. Instead of cozy chic, now we look like a nitwit. Too much volume. These are the scarves that are so extra long, so extra wide that it ends up looking like you're trying to wrap a tablecloth around your neck. It can make even the sleekest outfit look messy. I made this exact mistake, ladies, with this beautiful Hermes scarf that I just had to have. It looks so gorgeous on the model, but not on me. It's too much fabric, it's too overwhelming, and it's very difficult to wear properly on a daily basis. Lesson learned the hard way by me. Finally, thin, poor quality, or a worn out scarf. Cheap fabrics, worn out jersey, or very obvious polyester just end up looking cheap and distracting. Instead, think scarves in cashmere, wool, or silk. To drive down the price, look for blends thereof. When you blend a wool and a cashmere, it drives the price down, yet you're still getting a beautiful quality piece. One of my favorite cost-effective finds, ladies, is this wool and cashmere. This is the wrong color. I like the black or the ivory, but I want to show you for the quality. This wool cashmere blend scarf from Nordstrom. $99, comes in all the beautiful colors. This feels soft. It feels luxurious. It is lightweight. They call it tissue weight, which it is. So it drapes nicely around your neck. And it's really just a beautiful, beautiful piece, and it feels good. You know, I don't know about you, but like wool scratches my neck and my face. Some people love it. For me, I'm not really crazy about it. So that's why I air to cashmere. This feels good against your neck and your face. This one measures what I feel is the perfect width and length. 29 inches wide, and 76 inches long. This gives just enough to be able to drape it nicely around your neck without looking like you're strangling yourself, but it's not so much material that it looks like it's overwhelming. To keep it looking extra elevated, go for neutral tones, blacks, tan, camels, ivory, gray, or even rich solids like Merlot, pine green, navy. Prints? Sure, I love prints, and when I do a print, I keep them in neutral colors. Extremely versatile, still super chic, and easily bumps up an otherwise boring outfit of solids. Ladies, I have a video on how to tie a scarf, and I will put that in the description and pinned to comments below for your reference. The number 5 biggest frumpy mistake is too much layering. If we pile on competing colors, prints, scarves, hats, bags, it reads hot old mess, not what we're going for. If the eye doesn't know where to land, even the most beautiful pieces look horrible. Instead, stick to 2 or 3 cohesive tones like camel, black, and ivory, or go monochrome, all navy, all camel, which always reads effortless and expensive. Here, I narrowed it to a print scarf in neutrals: black, sienna, tan, ivory, a charcoal gray crew neck sweater, black trench, and a brown bag. Rather do a black bag? Of course you can. Remember, Coco Chanel said, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take one thing off. And it's so true, especially in the fall when we're layering scarves, hats, coats. Oftentimes, the chicest look doesn't come from adding more, but rather editing down your entire look so that it has maximum impact. The number 6 mistake that can make us look frumpy and age us: worn, saggy handbags and totes with cats. Here's the deal, ladies. Even the sleekest, most elegant outfits will get a huge frumpy downgrade if the bag has seen better days. A bag like that is going to ruin every single outfit every time. Why? Because it looks careless and tired, regardless of how expensive or not that it was. Worn, tired, saggy. Time for a new bag. Instead, choose a high-quality bag with structure, one that holds its shape in neutral, classic colors like black, brown, tan, gray, ivory, or navy, and take care of it. That means using a good leather conditioner and on occasion taking it to get it reconditioned at your local leather shop. Finally, you always want to store your bags in a dust bag. Now, if your bag doesn't have a dust bag or you lost it, you can order them from Amazon. They're super inexpensive. This protects your bag from scratches, wear, dust and dirt, and even color transfer that can happen from bags inadvertently rubbing against each other in your closet. Now, ladies, the leather conditioner that I personally use is Leather Honey. They are not sponsoring me, I'm just sharing with you. I get it on Amazon for like 16 bucks. I use it every so often when I feel a bag just kind of could have some life breathed into it. I squeeze it onto microfiber rag. I rub it all over my bag and I let it soak in overnight. I wipe the remaining off and I put it back in my closet. I also take my bags to be professionally cleaned, maybe every 2 years or so. Now, I have a very large handbag collection, so they're not getting as much use as if you just have a couple. So that's why I'm every 2 years, you might be once a year. Really, you just eyeball it and think, this looks like it could use a little conditioning and take it in. To be clear, ladies, you do not have to buy an expensive designer bag. Never in a million years would I ever tell you that you had to do that. What is a must in terms of looking your best is just taking care of what you have. That's it. Our last frumpy mistake is dated jeans. Jeans are a wardrobe staple. Always have been, always will be. But overly dated styles are the shortcut to frumpville. We don't want to do that. Overly distressed, acid wash, saggy butt, looks dowdy and dated. Two things you are not. Instead, choose classic cuts, which will always read modern. A straight leg, slim boot cut, or a wide leg trouser in a clean, dark wash. Regardless of what jeans are trending, these styles are classic, meaning they will always look modern, they will never look dated. They're a safe bet and they're easy to keep in your closet. Also, a crisp hemline always looks fresh and intentional. I always steer clear of those really stringy hems, regardless of if they're in style or not. I just don't like them. I think they look messy. I think they just look, I think they look tacky. A raw hem is totally fine as long as they don't have, strings hanging down. Other than that, I like a clean tailored finish on my pants. The good news, ladies, is that this is not about buying a whole new wardrobe. It's about small tweaks that make a big difference in how polished and elegant we can look. And they're so easy to do, you almost can't not do them. And for more polish, you're not gonna wanna miss my next video. 10 chic fall outfits with a white shirt and jeans. Have a great week, ladies. I'll see you Friday. Take care.